already had a big week and just want everyone to have a wonderful time tonight. And I'm going to turn it over to Kelly's dad, who just wants to share some of his thoughts about Kelly with you. So he's going to try not to cry.
Hopefully my eyeballs won't get sweaty. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, as Noni said, my name is Jim Donahue, Kelly's very proud father. And what I want to do is just take a couple minutes and share with you some of my experiences and thoughts about being blessed to have Kelly as my daughter. I want to start by saying one thing my dad told me years ago. I was pretty young, in my 20s, pretty naive about life. Didn't fully understand what he was saying. But Kelly, as you know, he was a pretty wise man. And usually what he would tell me turned out to be true. He was an Irish father, as am I. And what he said was, there are two things that occupy a very special place in the heart of every Irish father. And those two things are any daughter born into him and his firstborn. So I have been blessed with Kelly. She is both of those, my firstborn and daughter. And those of you who know her know what a joy she is. Optimistic, happy, hopeful. And if you get any Kelly time during the course of your day, it's going to be a good day. I go back, way back, shortly after Kelly was born, about 2 days. And I went back to work. In those days, we didn't get the paternity leave that seems to be available today. So I go back into my office, and I ran into a friend of mine named Steve McCullough. Never forget this. And Steve had 2 daughters. And Steve was so excited and so happy for me that I had a daughter. And he came up to tell me, you are so blessed. You are going to find out that there's a very special relationship between fathers and daughters. And he said, daughters love their fathers in such a unique way that you will not replicate anywhere else. So I thought, okay, he obviously believes this. I appreciated his enthusiasm and his sincerity. And so I followed it away. Well, fast forward about 2 years. Her mom and I were working in those days, and we would take Kelly to daycare. One day I went into daycare to pick up Kelly. I said, Mr. Donahue, Kelly's in the back playroom. Go ahead and pick her up, and we'll see you tomorrow. I said, okay. I walk back to the playroom. Door's open. I look in there, and I see Kelly at the far end, sitting there, playing with all kinds of toys. And I stopped for just a moment and thought how happy she makes me and how beautiful she is and how much we love her. Yeah. Then she turned and looked at me, saw me standing there. Big smile came on her face. Then she got up and she waddled, just like a 2-year-old girl would do. And she came over and she embraced my leg in what we refer to in our family as a great big juicy belly. Yeah. And at that point, my heart just melted. And I thought, okay, this is exactly what Macaulay was talking about. This is what he was referring to. So fast forward, one more quick story. About 5 or 6 years later, we had moved to Arizona. Kelly's in her bedroom. I'm out in the living room. And all of a sudden, she starts screaming frantically, Dad, come quick. There's a spider on the wall. I said, Kelly, what kind of spider? She hesitates. It's a regular spider. I said, okay, I'll come in and take care of it. So I got a paper towel in and took care of the spider, and she was so relieved. She goes, oh, Dad, thank you so much. And she gave me this big old sincere hug. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of liking this dad stuff. So far, it's not very hard, but the rewards are great. So going forward, in our family, we never talked too much about certain things. We were pretty low-key about certain things. One of those things is when our kids would get older, maybe start dating. And we didn't get too involved in what they were doing. We didn't want to be the nosy helicopter parents. And we figured they could develop and exercise good judgment. And it pretty much has worked out for the most part for that. So that in mind, about 4 years ago, Kelly had an opportunity to move to Port Arthur, Texas. A town none of us had any experience with, knew anything about. In Kelly's adventurous spirit, she accepted that position, moved to Port Arthur, Texas. And that's where she and Luke met. And I'm very happy to report that they met the old-fashioned way, in a bar.
Tiki bar?
Yeah. So I find that very comforting, especially in this digital world, which we seem to be increasingly living in. So unrelated to Kelly and Luke starting their dating, a couple months later, Noni and I decide, hey, we need to go to Port Arthur, Texas, just to support our daughter, spend some time with our daughter, get a feel for the town. We'd never been there. So I called Kelly up on the phone and said, hey, Noni and I would like to come visit Port Arthur. And she got all excited. And the last thing she said was, and Dad, I'd be so excited to introduce you to Luke. Well, a little light bulb went off in my head, because in our family, that's code speak for this relationship could have long-term potential. That's what she was really telling me. So I thought, okay, great. Look forward to meeting him. Well, can you tell me a little bit about Luke? And she said, well, he's a hockey player, and he's from Detroit. So my first thought was, I don't think I want to pick a fight with this guy. A hockey player from Detroit. But then it occurred to me that he could probably take pretty good care of himself. Therefore, he could take good care of Kelly. And those of you fathers out there that have daughters know just where I'm coming from. As the daughters grow older and get out on their own life, fathers sort of get put in the background just a little bit. But the way we're wired, we're always concerned about our daughters. It's just primordial. We can't help it. So I feel very good about Luke and Kelly and their future going forward. So we go to Port Arthur and we meet Luke. I immediately like him. He struck me as a very sincere, hardworking, diligent guy. And the other thing I've noticed about him and learned about him is he's very understated. And by that I mean he doesn't talk a whole lot, but when he does, it's worth listening to. And I value those traits in a person very highly. And he also comes from a really good family. We've had the pleasure of meeting John and Sue Cesaric, and where are you today? Where are you? Right there, yeah. Now I'd just like to thank you for producing such a wonderful son. And we are so happy to invite him into our family. We're so grateful Kelly's been accepted in your family. And we look forward to our families coming closer through the years. So thank you very much. Oh, one other thing I didn't want to mention about Luke. He's also a pretty good handyman. Actually, he's a step above. He's a craftsman. He and Kelly just bought their first home in Phoenix, and it was a fixer-upper, needed a lot of work. And John and Luke did all the work themselves. Plumbing, cabinetry, flooring, electrical. And they did a very professional job. Looks great. So Luke, I'm just glad we have somebody in the family who's got that. Because I don't. I didn't get that to you. So I know you've been busy this week. You're in town, but you had some other plans, I think, and had a lot going on. But just be forewarned. Next time you and Kelly come, we're going to have a list for you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to close now, but I just again want to reference something, and this is for Luke and Kelly, that my dad preached to us. And again, he was a very wise man, and he had 3 rules that he would tell us about getting along with people in general and also about relationships. And those 3 rules, very simple, straightforward. If you follow them, they'll be very useful. Number 1 is don't sweat the small stuff. Keep in mind it's all small stuff. Keep things in perspective. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is pick your battles wisely. Know which hills to die on and which hills to retreat off of. And most hills you want to retreat off of. But that's important because no matter what kind of, how strong or healthy your relationship is, there's always going to be challenges for all of us. Nobody's immune from that. So, and the third one, what was the third one? Pick your battles wisely. Oh, the third one, probably the most important. Each of you always strive to feel that you're giving 90% into making that relationship healthy, happy, special. I know intuitively we think we each give 50%. Well, if you each give 90%, it does a couple things. The other person recognizes that, they appreciate that, and they reciprocate that. So 3 simple rules, if you follow those, they're a real multiplier for your relationship and everything will work out so well. So if you would just join me, please, in a toast for Luke and Kelly. May you have many happy, healthy, wonderful years together. May the good Lord continue to bless you all. Thank you. Amen.
Cheers!
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. That was really beautiful. That was
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
You were the inspiration. You were the one that inspired it all. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. I think you did. I meant every word I said. The only thing Not Christian, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he's so yeah, this is hard to count.
Love you too. You're the reason we're all here. Perfect, thank you.
You guys just enjoy yourself. Forget about
Friends and old friends of Kelly's and mine, and we're just so happy you made it. There are times in life when things are different, and they're so full of joy and love and maybe magic so much that you cannot forget what's going on. And today is one of those special occasions. We're celebrating Kelly and Luke, and it's wonderful. So, Kelly is kind and passionate, honest, and a very, very good person. She had a fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Payton, who once told me that Kelly was the nicest student she ever had because she's the only one in the class that would pick up a book that somebody dropped on the way back from the library. Everybody else would step on it or step over it. Kelly was different. Kelly was pure and sincere and very fine. Now, I'm going to move on to my glasses because I had it all on my phone, but I am a baby boomer, and the maid of honor thought I couldn't handle an iPhone at drink and just scrolling and all that. So here I am with my glasses, and now I can see what I'm saying. Kelly's always been remarkable, kind, compassionate, and thoughtful. She's been special, and I've always known that. Kelly has another side, so Luke, don't let her gentle side fool you. Kelly is also strong, determined, and adventurous, as I know you've discovered. She'll support you, challenge you, and yes, she may occasionally win arguments you didn't even know you were having. My advice is to choose your battles wisely, and when in doubt, get her a spa day. And if it's really bad, get it from me too. Kelly is deeply empathetic, as you stated in your vows. I thought that was very perceptive. She feels deeply and she understands people in a way that is very rare. Luke, you probably already learned this. You can't hide your feelings. You can't hide them around Kelly because she'll know before you do how you're feeling. She's full of life and curiosity, from chasing big goals and traveling the world, very adventurous, to lighting up every room with her energy and warmth. Kelly's playful, vibrant, and unafraid to live fully and boldly. Luke, you married someone extraordinary. I mean that. Kelly will love you fiercely, keep you grounded, and bring endless joy into your life. And Kelly, you found your person. Someone who adores you, respects you, and makes you laugh. That's all anyone that loves you ever wanted for you, and you're so deserving of it. So, here's my one piece of advice, because I'm really good at marriage advice. There's a special name for someone who's always wrong in a marriage. Husband. Luke, sorry, I don't write the rules. My greatest wish for the both of you is this, that your life together is full, every moment, every week, every year, of small joys that brighten every single day. Big adventures that fill your hearts, and a love that grows deeper with each passing year. So let's raise our glasses to Kelly and Luke to a lifetime of love, laughter, and discovering the world together, side by side. And just for today, you're my favorite child. Sorry, Katie. To Luke and Kelly, forever.
Travis, Katie's up next. Maid of honor.
Thank you very much. Good evening, beautiful people, family, friends, and those who are just here for the open bar. No judgment here. I respect it. Tonight, I'm here to tell everyone a story called From Reiki Healing to Red Meat. How Kelly ghosted her future husband, but still made it to the altar. I promise I'll explain the title later. I'm Katie Donahue, Kelly's younger sister, which means I grew up with not only a sister, but a confidant, a role model, a cosplay mermaid, and occasionally a benevolent dictator. I admired Kelly so much as a kid that once I let her cut my hair into what could only be described as a mushroom cap meets Little League helmet hybrid. And so I was 4 years old, walking around looking like a retired linebacker. And Kelly was so convincing and I respected her so much that I actually believed I looked gorgeous. I was her little science experiment for years until one day I actually grew a mind of my own and staged a peaceful coup d'etat and regained my independence. So if you have a sister, you know the drill. She's someone that you would defend to the ends of the earth, but on occasion fantasize about strangling just a little bit from time to time. But it's fine because we made it through those years intact, and here we are tonight. The bond of sisterhood is sacred, and I feel lucky every single day that I get to experience it with my best friend. When Kelly left for college, I slept in her bed every single night for a week, and I cried. Dramatic, I know, but here's the thing. You never realize the last night you'll live under the same roof as your siblings until it's long gone and life moves forward. Siblings are the strongest ties to your past and the ones who carry you into the future. No one will ever truly understand the art of making fun of your parents the way your siblings do. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But even after 15 years of living in different cities, our bond has never weakened. In fact, it's only grown stronger. We've always dreamed of living in the same city again one day, walking our dogs together and rewatching Desperate Housewives together, and maybe even raising our kids close by. First, I just need to find a man, but that's neither here nor there. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out sooner or later, God willing. Until then, I'll continue to look forward to Kelly's 15-minute podcast-style voice notes that I receive 2 to 3 times a week. And Luke, you better be okay with me visiting a lot. I will be in town. Now, I promised everybody a story, so let's start with chapter 1. From Reiki healing to red meat. Once upon a time, my sister Kelly was a vegetarian, Reiki healing, Bangkok-based free spirit, lighting sage, cleansing energies, and swearing she'd never touch meat again. Fast forward almost a decade, she meets a salt of the earth Midwestern boy from Michigan named Luke. Suddenly, my crystal charged sister is a steak-eating, construction site running powerhouse, holding her own in a male-dominated industry. And the only man who could ever change her vegetarian vow was Luke. And I will never stop making fun of her for it. I'll never stop making fun of her for it, but I'll also be forever impressed and super grateful because now Kelly and I can share entrees and appetizers when we dine out together again. So it's a huge win for the carnivores in the family. Luke, I owe you one big time. And Kelly, welcome back to the carnivorous side. It's great over here. Is everyone's public safety okay? Is there an Amber Alert? Okay, we'll proceed. Chapter 2, my favorite part of the story. How Kelly ghosted her future husband but still made it to the altar. Here's how it started. The night they met, Kelly, being the queen of Irish goodbye, who she may or may not have learned from her dad, disappeared without a word the night they met. No goodbye, no number, no nothing. She went straight home to a bubble bath and her crystals. She called me the very next day, so sad, saying, I just met this amazing guy. We had so much fun together, but we didn't exchange any information because I Irish goodbye. And she felt really bummed. She was like, that was a folly on my part. But I told her, I was like, if it's meant to be, the universe will bring you back together. And sure enough, a few weeks later, the universe did its thing. The same bar, same spark, same chemistry. And here we all are tonight. And speaking of sparks, on their very first formal date, Kelly and Luke went out for karaoke, one of Kelly's favorite hobbies. Now you'd think for a first date it would be a little bit about keeping some mystery, but not my big sister Kelly, maybe the least mysterious person in the world, and we love her for that. She got up on stage and sang 6 or 7 karaoke songs, and Luke sat in the audience and cheered her on the entire time. The best comparison I can make is when Travis Kelce saw Taylor Swift perform the Eras Tour for the first time at Arrowhead Stadium. He was completely blown away, captivated, and thinking, that is going to be my future wife. And now, look at us. We made it to Hayden Lake celebrating their marriage. Cheers to Kelly's engaged era. Kelly is the most vibrant, loving, and radiant soul that I know. She's the kind of person who makes everyone feel seen and valued. Over the years, I've watched you grow into the woman you were always meant to be. Someone who's confident, self-assured, and someone who knows her worth, except when subcontractors test your patience from time to time. And when Kelly was ready, God brought Luke into her life at exactly the right moment. Luke compliments Kelly perfectly. He protects her heart, and he literally built her the house that they're living in now. It's amazing how handy you are. I know it's been mentioned many times tonight, but our family were in awe. He is her partner in every sense of the word, though I will always consider myself your unofficial co-pilot. Kelly and Luke, you really are the perfect yin and yang. You balance each other out, support each other, and laugh together constantly. And now you're even raising the most beautiful golden retriever together as a team. That's the kind of partnership and the kind of love that's worth celebrating. So Kelly, I'm so incredibly happy for you, not just because you found Luke, but because you found someone who matches your energy and loves you the exact way that you deserve to be loved. And Luke, I couldn't be happier that you're the one that's going to be my brother-in-law. I love how easy it is to make you laugh. Once you start laughing, everyone starts laughing, and then everything seems funny, and nobody can stop laughing. And it's one of my favorite traits in a human, and I don't find it that often. So, when you got engaged, I'll admit I panicked a little, not emotionally, but because I realized I was gonna have to learn how to spell your last name. There's so many Z's and so many consonants, and there could be a few more vowels in the beginning, but it's fine because I promise I will have it down by the time your first child arrives. I'll make an oath. Jokes aside, Luke, I couldn't have asked for a better man to join our family. And to the entire Cesaric family, thank you so much for welcoming Kelly so completely. Knowing she is not only a husband, but an entire family behind her brings me more joy and peace than I can even express. So here's to Kelly and Luke. May your life together be full of belly laughs, homemade margaritas, unconditional support, and a love that deepens every single year. Cheers to the newlyweds.
Jonathan, you're next.
Katie, you got to remember the zebra cat, zebra. That's the biggest thing. You always know when a solicitor calls. So. Kelly, you look absolutely beautiful this evening. Can we make some noise? Give a round of applause. How great is Kelly? Absolutely. Look, you're not a far second, but we know how that goes. I don't know if everybody knows, but we're amongst a living legend right now. Luke is a person that I only know to have done a few things. I've seen him miss a very easy putt on a golf course, and he turned a straight putter into an absolute U. I think that was before or after you kicked your bag and knocked it over, but I've never seen anybody else do that. When we were growing up as kids playing street hockey with the neighbors, Luke took it very competitive. He was very intense about it. We knew that as soon as we scored one goal on him, he'd get pissed off. He'd throw all the equipment all over the yard and he'd storm off. Game was over. Yeah, playing for victory. When we were in high school too, Luke had a car. You're the only person that I've ever seen actually stomp and drop kick your car because you didn't like it. I've seen you punch the car. You know, you just didn't like it. I don't know. I've never seen anybody else ever do that before. I'm Jonathan. I'm Luke's brother and best man. I've known Luke for a few years at this point. One thing you guys need to know about Luke is that he's stubborn. Do I need to explain any more, Kelly? I think stubborn, period. We're gonna leave it at that. Luke's one of the hardest working people I know. It's already been mentioned multiple times. I was gonna touch on the whole condo remodel, but Luke put his sweat, blood, and tears into that. Pretty much touched every single surface. So Luke's the kind of guy that not only says he's gonna do something, but actually does what he says he's gonna do. Luke played hockey at a very high level growing up as a goalie. He went to the state championship a few times. One year he went to nationals. The effort and dedication it takes to achieve those goals and accomplishments is staggering. It's really a sacrifice, again, blood, sweat, and tears to make that happen. So very hardworking. That's also when Luke actually started to lift weights and work out. I think everybody here would agree that Luke's pretty rugged, buff, robust exterior. He's got an exterior. He fits in really well in the construction industry, where you really have to be tough in a sea of alpha males. He fits right in. But what people don't realize is that past Luke's rough exterior, once you actually get to know him, he's a softie. He's a man of principle. He's caring and compassionate. He's got a very big heart. Even growing up, he was known as an artist. Luke once won an art contest for this painting. It was on display for the public and the community to see. I think you won it because of the use of great colors. It's still on the wall at the house, yeah. Well, what you guys don't realize is Luke's colorblind. So it was a really nice arrangement of gray tones that Luke put on the canvas. It just turned out to be this masterpiece. So,
It had good texture.
yeah, Luke's definitely got a soft side. Never once in a while, still to this day, Luke will reach out to me. Jonathan, is this shirt pink, salmon, or coral? Jonathan, does this truck topper match the same silver that's on my truck? One summer he worked for Uncle Steph at his paint store, and people would come in. Luke, what do you think of this color? It looks good. He never told him no. You just can't see it from his house, so nor do we know the difference. Luke is loyal and values family and tradition. There's no doubt that you're going to be a great husband and father someday. And I can't let you get off the hook for your stubborn tendencies. There's some things that Luke is very, very particular about. Back to the whole hockey topic. Luke being a goalie, he needed a new cup. So my dad and I drove all around town. We found this awesome one. It was white with this big red bullseye right in the sweet spot. Got it to Luke. He didn't know what he was looking at. Didn't want nothing to do with it. Ended up, wouldn't even consider using it, so he had to take it back. got himself a camel one. Well, looking back, I understand I probably would have done the same thing if I was in your situation. Luke still hardly eats any vegetables or fruit. He's very particular about what he eats. He didn't even eat a salad tonight. He won't do it. But yeah, what I want to say is too is if you ever seen him order a sandwich, he'll go to Subway, Jimmy John's, whatever it may be. He's a bread, meat, and cheese kind of guy, right? So he keeps it simple, basic, but that's what he likes. That's what he does. He's not going to change, set in his ways. Quite stubborn. But one thing he is also very particular about is you, Kelly. If he's the meat and cheese on that sandwich, you're all the awesome toppings. You're the lettuce, the onions, the peppers. You're the avocado and the truffle sauce. Yes. Together you guys make the perfect combination. Yeah, for those of you paying attention, I did reference their relationship to a sandwich, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But you guys, in all seriousness, really do complement each other. And it's really apparent and obvious from the outside perspective. So Callie, it's been great and a pleasure getting to know you over the last couple years. You're kind-hearted, charismatic, and strong-willed. Lord knows you have to be strong-willed to deal with Luke some days. So when we were in Texas for Luke's birthday a few years back, Luke had opened up his presents and all the wrapping and stuff was all over the floor. So Kelly said, "All right, Luke, it's time to pick up the wrapping paper and throw it away." Boy, did he just jump up, get into action. I've never seen that side of Luke until that day. It's really amazing what you've been able to do with him and continue to keep doing that. Yeah, we like to say that Luke's been Kelly-fied. So after 35 years, I'm finally able to say that I have a sister and couldn't think of a better option. I'm excited to finally and officially welcome you into the family. I really hope that you continue to order too many pierogies at dinner so that I can eat your food the next morning. It's a whole ordeal. Kelly caught me red-handed with a pierogi in my mouth. It was her food. Growing up, anything in the refrigerator was fair game. So Kelly learned quickly, you gotta put your name on it. And she actually did the last time. She wrote, "Jonathan, hands off Kelly's pierogies." So that was good.
I had to look up how to spell pierogi.
But Luke and Kelly, your love for one another is evident. You guys light up a room when you walk in. Everyone around you is a better person to have you guys in their life. I want to wish you guys a lifetime of happiness and laughter, good health and old age. So please, everybody, raise a glass to me. As our dad used to say, remember, don't behave. Cheers, everybody. Well, I got one more quick thing. As Billy Mays used to say, well, wait, there's more. So there's been a common topic of conversation this week, and that all revolves around one person who's missing at this table. Kelly's brother Jimmy wasn't able to make it here. Uncle Sam had other options and priorities, and no, I wasn't able to pull any swing to get him here. But what you don't know, Kelly, is I've actually been in communication with Jimmy. And I had reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to say a few words just because he's absent. So without further ado, a note from Jimmy. I first met Luke right here in North Idaho on Labor Day weekend a couple years ago, as it seemed to be the one weekend a year that all 5 siblings were able to get together. We were all eager to finally meet him. So my dad planned a guys' night of cigars and beers on the back patio, where Dad, myself, Peter, and Shane would complete the vibe check with Luke. Of course, we had to size him up. All I knew was that Kelly had recently moved back to some small town in Texas on the Gulf of America, and now we're at a girlfriend. Long story short, it only took 2 hours and a couple of beers to learn all we needed to know. Midwestern guy, hockey player, beard, excellent mullet. great American, man of faith and principle. Much to Kelly's disappointment, we did not ask Luke his zodiac sign, his anagram, the moon time, the time of the day that he was born. We didn't read his palm. We didn't ask the location of the sun the day they met. Luke checked the box. Kelly's our big sister, someone we look up to. She is the implement of the family, who is always willing to listen, to nurture, to love. We have always prayed for Kelly's future husband, that God would lead her on a path to the man she deserves. After teaching overseas in Thailand for several years and spending time both in Idaho and DC upon her return, her path took her back to Texas. First San Antonio, and then out to the Gulf for a construction management job, choosing to follow the opportunity and adventure rather than her former passion of teaching. In walking by faith, you can see the larger plans God has in store for you both. You will both be wonderful parents one day, and Luke, you already are that cool uncle to my son, whose year-long mullet you have inspired. Kelly, I know you are disappointed that I'm not able to be there to celebrate this moment, but please know how proud I am of you. You and Luke deserve each other. Now, back to the party. Cheers.
Alright, me and Kelly just want to say welcome to everyone. We got people from all over the country here. Arizona, New Mexico, California, Michigan,
Colorado,
Texas, Colorado, everywhere. But no, we appreciate everyone for coming out here, and we're very happy to share this experience with you guys.
Oh my gosh, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm so humbled to have everybody here with us. It's such a great moment. I know we've had a lot of awesome speeches and everybody's ready to get started on the dance floor. So let's go enjoy ourselves and have a great night filled with love and happiness. Thank you for coming.
Let's go, Maestro. There he is. Right there.
Everybody, we can start heading to the dance floor.